Hello, folks, and welcome to Fight News Now Extra. I'm John Pollock with John Ramdine and Robin Black. Hope you know their names by now. We're going to chat about some fights coming our way. Another championship fight, this one very much expected. June 13th, the UFC returns to Mexico City. Cain Velasquez has been announced that he will be fighting against Fabricio Werdum. I guess all heavyweights be on notice. You might be getting a phone call.
Why are you knocking on wood and why are you crossing your fingers?
No, I'm crossing my fingers. He's not, because we want this fight to happen.
Why are you saying that he doesn't?
I'm knocking on wood, Robin, because the last time Cain Velasquez fought, we were watching that fight at 5 a.m. in Russia.
That's right.
Wow, that was a long time ago. Holy crap. You know, what's interesting, we were chatting about it, and you know what I do for a living? I actually watch fights. I love my job. It's the greatest thing. I can't even believe this is my job. But despite the fact that for a living I consume fights, is Werdum an interim champion?
He's the interim champion.
Is he?
Well, which means...
I'm not even aware of this somehow.
Because it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You get a little certificate that says opportunity to fight the real champion at a later date. You can cash it in when you so choose.
But you also get a belt, right? Like, give you that thing.
Yeah.
And Chris Weidman said that thing is, 900 pounds of gold in it? So it's got to be worth something, right?
It should be like a medal maybe or something.
Sure.
Not quite the championship
My point is, it's irrelevant. Cain Velasquez is the baddest man on the planet. If he's healthy, I can't wait to see him fight.
However, if you're Fabricio Werdum, I'm thinking that I'm the baddest man on the planet. I finished Fedor. I've taken out... Yeah, right, who? You look at the other heavyweights, his performance against Travis Brown, Fabricio Werdum looking amazing right now, and I'm sure he is just dying at the opportunity to take out Cain Velasquez, because I think, Robin, you talked about it, Cain Velasquez, arguably the best fighter maybe ever to compete in mixed martial arts, and I'm sure John Jones says that he's the #1 guy, but when Cain Velasquez is physically in top form, and when you see him performing the way he should perform, nobody in the world is going to be able to take this guy out.
The desire, the drive as a heavyweight, 25 minutes of hell. Like, you want to go fight that man, you better be ready for 25 of the worst minutes in your human life. But Werdum is very skilled. You're right, he's looked good. But you got to convince me that somebody can beat Cain Velasquez.
Werdum also now has the experience of fighting in Mexico City, where it is a city at elevation. He fought there against Mark Hunt. Cain Velasquez also, the best conditioned heavyweight, so I don't think this is a case where either guy is necessarily going to be tired, but that is an element you throw into this fight. Another fight announced, 125 pounds, former title challenger. We have John Dodson, Zach Makovsky added to that loaded UFC 187 card on May the 23rd. Just a month after Kyoji Horiguchi will be challenging for the flyweight title, so a case of just timetables not working out, because I'm sure John Dodson would have been the optimal choice to face DJ in Montreal.
Yeah, you're saying Horiguchi is going to be challenging for the title. Don't you mean he might become the new 125-pound champion after he challenges Demetrius Johnson? I don't think anybody believes that's going to be the case.
Listen,
we just watched
slip on a banana peel.
Sure.
I mean, you're on your way into the cage, listen, that is no detriment to Horiguchi. The guy looks phenomenal. It's just a little early for him.
Yeah.
He's young, And that is one of the issues at 125. It's one of the issues at 115-pound females. One of the issues at heavyweight. When you got a smaller sample size of human beings who can fight at that weight, you got to rush some of these guys. Horiguchi in 5 years might be amazing, but right now, Demetrius Johnson's just is unstoppable. But I sure do like that fight. Dodson looks like the guy, but we got us a little man that wants Makovsky, who might want to, jump in line there.
And we've talked about some of the things that they should do with Demetrius Johnson. And as the 125-pound division kind of sorts itself out, we talk about this Makovsky and Dodson fight, I think Demetrius Johnson should go up to 135 pounds and take fights that are meaningful, that are exciting. 135 pounds Demetrius Johnson versus Uriah Faber. You're telling me people wouldn't want to tune into that?
But Uriah Faber's going up to 145
I get that.
for a great fight. But I feel what you're throwing here, brother. Like, these are the great fights. And in the lower weight classes, listen, we don't have to convince our viewers. Our viewers know what's up. But the rest of the world doesn't quite get that a 145-pound man is more skilled, is quicker, has better, qualities of movement and abilities to fight than a 205-pound man. So how do we get people to pay attention to that? You just take the best ones. You're 145, you're 131, whatever.
Yeah.
Go fight. Let's see greatness.
You're going to Montreal later this week. There's going to be a media day for UFC 186. if you are the fan in Montreal, Rory McDonald is not fighting on this card. George St. Pierre certainly is not attached to this card. What do you think the average ticket buyer is buying a ticket for at UFC 186? You have 2 title fights. You also have Quinton Jackson coming back. Michael Bisping deeper on the card.
That's it.
I would argue those 2 latter names are bigger than the title fights.
That's true, but when you're bragging to your friends, there's 2 title fights. Well, who's fighting? I don't know. There's 2
Little
title
dudes.
fights. There's 2 title fights, and you get to see Rampage, and you get to see Michael Bisping.
Reenan's
Who are they
fighting.
fighting?
Reenan.
Exactly. It is irrelevant who they're fighting. You get to see 2 guys or 4 people challenge for gold, and of course you get the 2 big names in Rampage.
Do you think
and
this will
Bisping.
sell out the Bell Center?
Maybe. I mean, there's
They haven't
fight
had-
fans in Montreal.
yeah, and they haven't had a
big
UFC
venue.
for a while. I like the way it stacks up because Robin Black wants to see Demetrius Johnson, but he's some weirdo with a goofy haircut from Toronto who's obsessed with fighting. I want to see Rampage Jackson smash people into the ground. Somebody else like that Michael Bisping, he's good too, you know? So you can hit all the different types of fans at least.
I think that it's an interesting card to watch and see how the Montreal fan base responds, because it's been quite a while since they've had a card in Montreal, and you don't kind of have that local flavor on the main card, at least. You do have a lot of local fighters underneath. Last thing we can touch upon is just as you look forward to all these pay-per-views that are lined up, what is jumping out at you? Because these pay-per-views are it's fast and furious. All these fights that are being announced. Is there one fight that really does jump out of this next couple of months that you hope stay together?
Yeah, not necessarily one fight. It's more of the division, 185 pounds. You have Chris Weidman, emerging as the premier guy at 185 pounds, taking out Anderson Silva. What are we going to see of this new Vitor Belfort? Is he the old Vitor Belfort? Is he broken Vitor Belfort? Then you have the supporting cast, Lyoto Machida taking on former Strikeforce champion Luke Rockhold, and then Jacare and Yoel Romero, right now 185
That's it for
pounds.
me. That Fox card,
Awesome.
April 18th, like barring injury, which you put the asterisk next to every fight announced. That to me is the big card to look at. But lots of title fights, lots of pay-per-views. Get ready to spend some money and watch Fight Network 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, including Fight News Now Extra next.